Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video. Here we have a recap of week 12 and 13 of my London Marathon training. I must admit that the last 2 weeks have been super busy, so I've been a bit slack in putting this all together, but here's just some clips of my training, what's been going on, what I've been up to. As this weekend coming, we have the Manchester Marathon, so I'm going to do a full video on that race and the weekend, and then we'll be back into the normal swing of things in the final few weeks leading up to the London Marathon.
2, 1, go.
Hope it's not too windy up here to record, but today is Wednesday and I'm out on my mid-long run. This behind me is called the Beacon. It's at the top of Campbell Park, quite an iconic location in Milton Keynes. So yeah, as I just said, I thought I'd stop off and just film here, but I'm 5 miles and halfway into a 10-mile mid-long run. So far this week on Monday I did a recovery run after the Oakley 20. My legs weren't too bad, also did some yoga. Yesterday was an interval session and I quite liked it. It was 2 minutes, 4, 6, 4, 2, pyramid style session with half-time recovery in between. I had James with me and that was really good. He's tapering from Manchester, so for him he just ran at my pace. So when you're in your taper you can still do intervals, however James didn't want to sort of exert too much energy, so went at my pace. So he's still working efficiently, you know, using a good stride, still getting the heart rate up, but not over fatiguing himself and using too much energy. So yes, today I'm just going to finish my run. I am very tired, so this just seems to be a common theme right now. It's just that I'm very, very tired in general, and that's what it is when you come to the peak of your training. It's fine, I'm just dealing with it. My pace is actually quite good at the minute, which I'm surprised of how tired I am, but it's all good because it's just, that's how tired I am. I can't even get my sentence out. Tonight is core classes, we're back. I've been away for a few weeks, so I'm really looking forward to teaching those, and then the rest of the week I'll continue with in the next clip. Hey everyone, it's Thursday and I am happy because I've done my tempo run. So today's session was 1 mile warm-up, 4 miles tempo and a cool down. However, I have just skipped the cool down as I'm absolutely shattered. So tempo miles, I did a warm-up which is about 8:30 pace. Tempo for me, I would try and do around my half marathon pace effort. However, because I am tired this week, I knew that I could feel my heart rate was quite high in the warm-up. But just was running by feel today. I wasn't going to worry about the pace. So tempo miles were 7:04, 7:03, 7 and about 6:49 for the last one. So progressive, so happy with that. 2 rest days now. What have we got on the rest of this week? So just clients tomorrow. Saturday James is going to do a park run effort. He's got Manchester next weekend. We're going to the new Spurs stadium, and then Sunday is my last long run before I start to kind of taper. I don't think I've got anything over 13 miles now after this weekend's long run, so yeah, pleased with how training's going this week, but just very grateful for rest days upcoming. Catch you all later.
Sunny weather, isn't it?
Come on then boys, what are you predicting for yourselves?
Approximately 5k.
Ha ha ha. Time? Come on. James?
Who knows, we'll see. Who knows, yeah.
Ah, you're all wimps. Come on.
Stadium, the world famous home of the Spurs. And this afternoon we welcome the players two Spurs legends and Inter forever. Now please welcome both sets of players onto the pitch, as well as...
Isn't it? Saying, oh, finished. Should really say start.
Now until the start of the 20-mile race.
I'm happy.
Let's see so many clubs.
Sunday evening and the end to week 12. Oh, hello. Got a buddy. You say hello, hello, Lily? No, she doesn't want to. So, end of week 12, and I can't believe that the London Marathon is officially 4 weeks away. 4 weeks. So the last time that I saw you was on Thursday when I did my tempo run, and since then I've had Friday and Saturday as rest days, and boy did my legs know about it this morning. When I started my warm-up, they felt absolutely fantastic, and I have been quite grateful for the rest days. I really appreciate rest days as much as I do the running days at the minute, and I just think that it's such an important part of your training, just as much as the actual running. So Friday was just busy with clients. Saturday was park run. James went and did his 5k effort before Manchester next weekend, and he did amazing, 18:22. We then went to visit the new Spurs stadium, the new White Hart Lane, which was fantastic. It was a really good evening, which did mean that we got back quite late last night. Also, in terms of food, we ate at the stadium, and then dinner was like quite late last night. We picked up a sandwich from like the M&S garage on the way home, so not exactly the best prep for food. Also, the clocks went forward an hour. However, I woke up this morning and I didn't want to let any of that faze me. You know, I don't want to start making excuses for things. So today was my sort of last longer run on the plan, and I had 20/22 miles. So the Bedford Autodrome was a lapped course. We had to do a mini lap and 6 big laps. And so then that made each lap about 5 kilometres. The idea was to try and do a warm up and a cool down mile either side of the run as well, to make it up to 22 miles. So turned up this morning at the venue. I've never done a lap course before, and I've never done anything like this at like a running track, so like a racing track. So I have been told that they can be quite exposed and quite windy. Turned up and it was absolutely freezing, and everyone was so cold. It was really easy to like get into the event village, all really well laid out and organised, done by Run Through UK. And I tried to leave it to the last possible minute to do my warm-up, so that meant that I was on the start line, finished my warm-up, ready to start the 20 miles. So as I said before, my legs felt fantastic on... As I said before, my legs felt fantastic on the warm-up, and the plan was to do 5 miles easy and then 10 miles at marathon pace and then 5 miles easy. Quite quickly realised that into the loop there was 1 sort of mile plus of headwind on each lap, which made it quite difficult. The first five ticked by really nicely. I ran with a client of mine, Colin, and we were just chatting away throughout those first 5 miles. His marathon pace, he was doing 10 miles at marathon pace too, and his pace is a touch quicker than mine. So I was like, look, you go and just do your own thing and I'll do mine. So started, and legs felt really good. However, on that windy part on each mile, I was trying to push. I was working basically at marathon pace, but my time was not reflective of that because of the wind. And as each lap came around, it just got harder, and I felt like it got windier on each part. But I just sort of tried to ride it out today. As I got to with 5 miles to go, that's when it started to get really quite tough. But then also with 5 miles to go, it's quite a positive mindset. You're like, oh yeah, you're like so close. So I'm happy with the pace. Overall it was like 7:56 average pace. However, it wasn't as easy as what I would have liked it to be, if I'm being honest. But the conditions were tough today. I've not been very well. Another cold this week, but it's brought me up to sort of 45 miles for the week, another 20 mile after last weekend, and I've just got to be happy with how I was able to hold the pace. My last mile was the quickest. I put a storming sprint finish on, so obviously my body wasn't completely done. It was just the conditions that made it harder. So fingers crossed that with better conditions at London than wind, we might have some heat, but that's reflective of what I can do. So I don't think I'm tapering just quite yet. I'm going to be doing a sort of a 3-week taper, so I'm not sure what my plan is going to look like this yet. I'm waiting to hear from James what it is, but another good week. And I know that marathon training has not gone to plan for me, but I'm just going with each week and just trying to enjoy the process. Wow, that was a fun session. Oh my gosh. Please, can someone tell me that it's time to taper? Anyone else in London, please tell me it's time to taper. No, obviously not. Today's session, I had my hands are so cold now, 3 reps of timed intervals, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 120 seconds, 60, 30, in a pyramid like that, up and down. The 30-second bursts were lovely, fantastic, I loved them. The 120 seconds, i.e. 2 minutes, were not so fun. I took 60 seconds rest in between each effort, and then 3 minutes between each set. And then yes, 1 mile at 5k pace, under 6:10. That was savage. I'll just put it like that, savage. That was absolutely savage, but it's done. I've been putting this off all day because the weather, we've had such amazing weather over the weekend. Not so much Sunday, was windy, but Saturday, Monday, lovely. And then today it's been like a chameleon. It's been raining, we've had hailstones, it's been bright sunshine, and in between clients I've had to try and juggle it, and it's never timed right. So I've done this in the evening, and always in the evening I struggle a bit more with sessions, but it's done. I've got a mid-long run tomorrow, and then Thursday is hills. I think my coach hates me this week, I think because he's on taper, he's enjoying this, living it, lapping it up. But short cool down to the car, and then home to relax. Epsom salts in the bath, I think tonight is on the cards. Legs are still recovering from the long run Sunday. So catch you all later in the week. You can't really see it well, you can see how high it is up there. I'm having to do alternate loops. So if I head out this way, the hill is very steep, and you get a long, more recovery. However, because of your stride, it wants to keep going fast, so it's hard. This way round, it's more of a gradual incline and a very steep decline. Oh, halfway through, this is one session that I was really dreading today, and I'm kind of enjoying it, kind of also feeling it really hard as well. Legs feel like jelly already, and I'm only halfway through. But halfway through, 1 rep at a time. That's how I'm taking it. See you on the other side. There we have it, a recap of week 12 and 13. As you can see, the current theme is that I'm tired and looking forward to taper. However, some really good session banked, and really looking forward to Manchester weekend upcoming. See you all soon.